Finally, the planets are aligning, with Trump freshly elected, with Gary Gensler, who is rumored to resign at the end of this month, with countless countries talking about Bitcoin strategic reserves. We are seeing history being made right now, right in front of us. A more decentralized world, or should I say a more blockchainized world. We will talk about that later. A world where finally governments are taking concrete actions to accept and to boost crypto. But this transformation comes with a lot of challenges and questions. So here I am today in Dallas, Texas. I've been invited to the North American Blockchain Summit, where key politicians from the US government and key players in the industry are meeting today. And I'll bring you with me. We'll have a look at what are the latest infos about regulation, mining, strategic reserves, taxes, the problem with decentralization we are having now, and a lot of other topics that will impact each and every one of us, even if you are not an American. I'm not an American myself. And it's starting right now. So let's get inside. Okay, so I had a quick look at the schedule and did a little tour of the exhibitors booth. There are quite a few things to talk about today. So for this first day, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence, mining, and Trump. So first, when we speak about AI, the first thing that I found quite disappointing at the Binance Blockchain Week in Dubai is that everything just goes one way. They are using a lot of stuff, deep in projects and stuff like that to promote, to help the development of AI. But the AI is not doing a lot for blockchain technology. So yeah, that's the first problem. And the second problem is the distinction between, blockchain AI and DAI, like decentralized AI. I want to find some projects that are truly decentralized and not just blockchainized, as I said in the introduction. So yeah, we have to make the distinction. And maybe I've found a good project here, so I will go to the keynote just after. It's called Angel AI. It seems to be a fully decentralized AI that you can control yourself. So yeah, we'll check that. But I just want to remind you that this distinction is very important, because what I want to see is like something that is really democratized, like accessible for everyone. Let's go see the keynote of Angel AI and we'll see.
Yes, this is something that the industry frankly has waited for a long time. This is a hugely positive change in the right direction.
Okay, that was quite a great speech. I like the part where they say that everything is tokenized and the people you interact with, they don't know anything about you, they just have the token. And they don't know what's your gender, what's your race, who you are, they just know what's your history and what's your assets. And yeah, it's totally transparent. So I don't know. I know it's decentralized, I understand that they have their own blockchain, but I don't know how they proceed to store all the files, and I don't know about the safety. Anyway, yeah, it was a great speech. To the next topic now, mining.
We have some Bitcoin mine loads that are over 500 megawatts, first of all. So that's a large load. For comparison, the city of Lubbock is about 600 megawatts. So we see big single mines that are as big as a 300,000 person city. But the price sensitivity.
Okay, I've gone outside because it's really noisy inside and I'm not sure if you can hear me well, and it's quite important what I have to share to you right now, because I've been surprised. When I came here, I thought we were going to talk about regulation, about law, control, and a little bit of energy maybe, yes, and a little bit of mining. But it's crazy how Texas is working, especially on this mining part. Texas, they call that the Lone Star State. I think, yeah, they are really alone in the USA and in the world for what they are doing about mining now. So it's crazy. Texas is the 9th largest economy in the world if you take it like as a country. And during the last few days, I heard about mining too via Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He was always a great believer in Bitcoin, and this last days, what did he say? He announced that Texas is ready to become the home of cryptocurrency mining and that Texas should become the crypto capital of the world. So what's going on and why is it so crazy about mining here? Can they really manage to do that? Can they really compare, with Malaysia, with Ethiopia, with Russia? In short, yes, I think they can. How? How can they manage to do that? They have the infrastructure. They have a pro-crypto environment. They have a lot of clean energy in West Texas, like wind farms. Better, they can use solar panels that are producing an excess of electricity like every day. It was Rachel Silverstein from Bitfarms that said that there is a lot of places where they have an excess of electricity from solar panels from 9 to 14. And this is just lost. So yeah, she's telling everyone, sell your electricity to miners. But what is the problem here? People don't know. They don't know they can sell this electricity. They don't know they can do something with this excess. We are very early.
Everyone should have a decentralized wallet. And so some of the celebrities here that we're interacting with and working with, they see the vision. These are mainstream celebrities. They're part of our vision and our mission to deliver all Americans, and basically the whole world.
Better like that? Okay, the sun was bothering me. So yeah, they don't know about this opportunity and they don't know that they don't know. That's the worst part. And even if it was not an excess of electricity, here, if you want to produce 1 Bitcoin, it's like 55K or something like that. It was like Bitcoin mining world company, someone from this company who told me that, and they can sell it, lately for like 95K, 94K. We had a new ATH this morning at 94K. So it's profitable anyway. But yeah, I think the main problem is that energy companies don't know they can do that. So they are starting to find out, and it's going crazy. So it will impact strongly the price of Bitcoin in the following years, I think. I met another guy who is from a gas company, but not from Texas, he's from Mississippi. And they have an excess of gas too in Mississippi. So what do? They sell their gas for electricity and then they mine Bitcoin. It's crazy because they are not strong believers in Bitcoin. They don't believe, they don't believe in decentralization, they don't believe in whatever I talk about mostly, on my channel. They believe in return on investment. There was this guy too, who is a power grid manager. And at first he didn't believe in Bitcoin either. So now he's starting to have some, faith in this technology and in the concept of decentralization and stuff like that. But at first, yeah, it was just for profit. And it's just the beginning. So I think we will see more and more of that. And I like the idea of having clean energy, like wind farms, solar energy, excess energy, stuff like that, because, when we had the ban in China, I was living in China before and we had a ban in China. What was the problem? The energy came from coal and it was really bad for the environment, and Bitcoin had some bad press along the years, because a lot of people were criticizing it just because of this environmental problem. But now it's the contrary. You can have clean energy, you can have excess energy, you can be more efficient and more clean and produce Bitcoin at the same time. So yeah, there's really a clear shift happening now. So yeah, Texas seems to really be a good place to mine Bitcoin. The cost of electricity is not as cheap, as Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, stuff like that. But the government is helping and everything is here just to make it work in the long term. That's the most important point, I think. It's stable here and it will keep this way. Here it's November now and it's still quite hot. But there are companies that have this problem, this matter in hands too, like what they're called, the ones I saw today, Gigabox? Yeah, Gigabox Hydro. They have systems in place, they have solutions, and they are implementing them right now, that's the point. So yeah, they just have everything. I know Ethiopia can be interesting for most people, or Malaysia, or countries like that, but they are not very stable. Not stable politically speaking, not stable with the electricity infrastructures, like the stability of the voltage and stuff like that. Some people are stealing electricity. Some mining farms are not even legal over there. Here you can do everything legally and make profits. So yeah, it's a surprise. I wasn't expecting that here in the US, to have so much mining companies, and I'll go check with Bitcoin mining world what's the price and what's the ROI these days. So here I'm at the Bitcoin mining world booth with John, and I will ask him a few questions. So I will give you the mic.
Okay, sounds good.
Can you please introduce your company quickly?
All right, John Taylor with Bitcoin Mining World. We're an education-based marketing platform.
So I had 3 questions for you. The first one is, what about the ROI? What's the cost of producing 1 Bitcoin in the US?
So right now, the average price is $55,000. And in the US, it's a hard question to answer because the cost of electricity varies greatly throughout the country. In California, it's 3 times as much as it is in Texas. And so there's a lot of factors that go into it, but if you're making Bitcoin in Texas, it's going to be around $55,000.
And another question I have that is very important for me is the bureaucracy. How is it in the US? Because in Western countries, usually bureaucracy is quite heavy.
Yeah, so depending on where you are, there's places like New York and California where it's heavily regulated, and if you want to get into the Bitcoin mining business, there's a lot of resistance, there's a lot of regulation and permits that you have that really deters you from getting into it. But if you go into more Bitcoin-friendly states like Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, there's a lot of opportunities throughout that region to really get into the business and avoid all of that bureaucracy.
And what's the difference between all the regions, all the states? Because we have Greg Abbott, who in the last few days said that he wants to make Texas the crypto capital of the world. But is it really the best place here?
Well, yes, because this is one of the energy capitals of the entire world. There's more oil in Midland, Texas than any place in the world, if you ask somebody from Midland, Texas. So there is a lot of opportunity with wind, solar, and of course the gas and oil. Yeah, and there's a lot of stranded gas, flare gas. One of our partners, Verde Mining, they just take all of the stranded gas and all the flare gas that's wasted, or they're paying carbon tax on it, converting it into a usable product that can be used in a generator, and then creating the Bitcoin out of it. So I think that there's enough different types of energy in this region to make it the capital of the world.
And how do you see the mining segment, the mining market in the next few years?
The mining market is going to evolve because with the next halving, the next epoch that we go into, it's going to change the dynamic of how you can make money in this business. I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know which way it's going to go, but I think it'll dynamically shift in one direction or the other. And so I think that there's through that time there'll be people exploring different ways that they can use nodes to capture data and to make money that way, and there'll also be transactionals that will further give opportunity to make Bitcoin profitable.
And when I think about the future, I think about what if China wakes up? Could that impact you? Could that impact Bitcoin mining?
I think that the Bitcoin mining is decentralized enough where it can't be, and we're still China's biggest customer, so they'd have to make us not their biggest customer in order to do that. And I think the economics of that, they've already decided that it's not worth it.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
And I finished this part of the video at the hotel because I met some people from Fidelity at the bar, and some people from EDG too, just after the last keynote, and they invited me to dinner. Very nice people. So I couldn't record what I wanted to say about Trump and Pompeo. That's why we'll do that just here, just now, just between you and I. And it's calm here. And I can even add some insights to that because we discussed his policies at the dinner too. So I want to talk about Senator Loomis. She wasn't there today, but everyone was talking about her. She made a proposal that the United States buy up to 1 million BTCs over 5 years, 1 million, as a strategic reserve. This strategic reserve is looking more and more like our future reality. She says it's because of the debt. I'm not sure it will solve the debt problem, but it could certainly help. On my end, I see here more a way to protect the US dollar. And I understand that, it makes sense. But whatever the reason is, really, 1 million Bitcoin is about 8% of the total available Bitcoin supply. And that would create a global race to accumulate Bitcoin. A lot of countries would follow suit. Prices would skyrocket and individuals like you and me would find it harder and harder to get our hands on them. But if you have some already, and for the world crypto market, it will be insane price-wise. Of course, it's price-wise. If you talk about the vision Satoshi Nakamoto had for the world, that's another story, of course, but if you are in it for the money, I get a little bit emotional and sad, to see these decentralized infrastructures serve centralized AIs, like I said earlier. I'm a bit sad too when I see what's happening to the decentralization ideas and concepts with the US financial markets. But my sadness about a world that is more and more blockchainized and not more and more decentralized, that's something for another day. Because Trump, he doesn't care about that either. He wants to make America great again. That's what he promises. So what will he do then? And what are the recommendations of the lobbyists that come and go, see him at Mar-a-Lago? I noted 3 key points today. First, the energy dominance. He wants to have a surplus in the United States. China and Russia are on an energy deficit, and he likes that. Before it was oil and natural gas. Now it's still the same, but the spectrum is just bigger. Controlling the energy is the key for him. Whether it's for blockchain, for AI, or for anything, he wants to keep this dominance. Second point, it was not directly about crypto at first. Pompeo said that President Trump doesn't want the kids to go to war. I like that. But he cannot have a great America, a strong America, while not going to war if he hasn't something else, to counterbalance this power here. So he needs more economical power. And here, Pompeo talked about China again and the dependency to the US for the exports. I think we will see what we saw 8 years ago, again. And pressure can easily be applied to China with tariffs. Anyway, what's important here is that Trump wants no war. What does it mean for us, for the crypto community? It means we could see more stability for a few years. That would be very profitable for the crypto markets. If we don't have a black swan event, like COVID, it could be insanely good. And third point is efficiency. A lot of things Pompeo said was about efficiency and deregulation. It made me think a lot about, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. When I hear Pompeo talking about Trump, I feel like I'm hearing Musk, They are really all in phase with that need for efficiency. So yeah, all in all, it was a great first day and it's very promising. And I learned a lot myself talking with American, oil and gas tycoons. That's not the kind of event I go to normally and the people, I speak to normally. So it was a great surprise. Anyway, it's late. I'm gonna go to sleep now and we'll continue tomorrow. I can't wait. We'll talk about the SEC, taxes and tracking, and maybe CBDCs, and what's gonna happen mid-long term to our beloved crypto market. Because Trump, it's just the beginning, and what he will do in the first 18 months is the most important part, and then we will have to wait for 4 years again. So what will happen after that, and what are the trends? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Good night.